Just like in the movie The Prince of Persia, Dastan was a street dweller, and boy was he a mess. When he arrived on my doorstep, he was a complete and utter mess. But the second he stepped into my house, he became the prince of my home. The insides of his eyes were a pure white when they were supposed to be a lush pink. His ribs were popping out of the side of his tummy, and his tail was mangled because he was attacked by another dog. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests, this isn't the first time that my family has had an unexpected visitor at my home. Over the years, we played host to a silkworm, a baby pigeon, which was the ugliest baby pigeon I've ever seen in my life, a baby chipmunk, an eagle that plummeted out of the sky. All these experiences helped me learn how to deal with this animal that came onto my doorstep. I'm sure that you all might face a situation similar to this at some point in your lives. And I know it's impossible to be 100% prepared, but having a plan of action never hurt anyone. So first things first, ensure your own safety. Keep the number of your local animal rescue center close at hand and give them a call as soon as you're faced with a situation like this. They'll ask you a number of questions to get a handle of the situation, and they'll tell you what to do in a situation like this, because sometimes these animals carry a number of viruses like tapeworms, ticks, or even rabies, and even a scratch, a nick, or even a lick can get you in some serious trouble. So the first thing that you should keep in mind is to make your safety first, and then if you're allowed to actually handle the animal, then take it in. I took Dastan to the local veterinary hospital, and they gave him a number of medicines, and they told me how to take care of the better, so they look at it. The next thing that you should keep on your mind, or the next thing that you should do, is do a little research, because taking care of an injured animal is like taking care of a baby. There's no goofing up that we can actually do. Like in the case of when I brought the silkworm home, it was actually a school project where I had to bring the worm home, and my only job was to make sure that he remained fat and healthy. So I gave him a number of fresh leaves from various plants. Unfortunately, it ate none of the leaves that I gave him. It turns out, after a little bit of homework, that silkworms only eat mulberry leaves. Only mulberry leaves. And by the time I found this out, it was a little too late for the little guy. And unfortunately, he didn't go through. Till this day, I feel guilty for having let that silkworm meet such a grisly fate. But luckily, every time a new animal comes to my door, I know that I should do a lot more research to find out what kind of environment that this little critter might need, what food it eats, as well as any other special needs that this animal might have. My friend Adil from the PBMP Forest Department tells me that a large percentage of birds don't survive the first 24 to 48 hours of their rescue because of improper handling. Birds can get very panicky when it comes to people handling them, and the best thing to do is keep them in a small cozy box in the dark and make sure that they kept warm. Once they've been provided first aid, you should hand them over to a professional, which is what they need in the end. And the last bit of advice, which I think is some of the most important when it comes to handling wild animals, is that if you touch the wild animal, make sure you wash your hands plenty of times. Because as I said before, these animals can carry a number of infections and diseases which we probably don't even know about. Dastan, for example, had a severe case of tapeworms, which I found out quite shockingly can be quite contagious. So every member of my family actually had to take a precautionary deworming tablet. But in the end, although there's a lot of dirty work that was involved with taking care of Dastan, in the end it was worth it. And I think whenever you're faced with a situation where there is an animal that needs your help, I think you should definitely step in. Just make sure that you keep these points in mind, because they need you to help them. And right now Dastan is in Krupa Animal Shelter in Kengeri Satellite Town. He's doing quite well now, thank God. And all the trouble that I went through, all the poop that I had to clean up was actually well worth it if I know that I can give that dog his day. Over to you, Mr. Host.